In this episode of the Daily Scare Share, we're going to talk about life's greatest hindrance. Do you have any idea what that is? What is the greatest hindrance in your life? I think it's a little bit different for all of us, but today's Daily Scare Share from Doing One Thing a Day That Scares You book, a little journal type book that I have been going through every day, just about every day this year. I didn't start the first of the year, but I think it was about the fifth or so that I started picking one thing a day out of this book, just going in order and sharing the comfort zone stretching challenge of the day. Some days it's an activity, like yesterday it was a quiz, and I said I would share my average score on my white coat anxiety yesterday, and it turns out to be 2.541 repeating 6. So 2.54, or an average of 2.5, was my anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10 of how anxious I am about white coat, people that wear white coats, different professions and professionals that wear white coats. How afraid of them am I? I probably should have had the military on there, like the Navy or the Marines or something, or one of the services that use and wear a uniform, because I'm probably more anxious or nervous around them than I am a lot of these professionals like doctors and dentists and things. So today is all about stretching our comfort zone, getting out of the rut that we might find ourselves living in. Maybe you're not living in a rut, but I found myself at the beginning of this year definitely living in a rut. You know what they say about a rut? It's just a grave with the ends kicked out. When you're going through that same day over and over and over again, like that Groundhog movie with is it Dan Aykroyd? It's not Dan Aykroyd in that. Not Chevy Chase. I can see his face. Bill Murray, with Bill Murray. Oh my goodness, poor Bill Murray. Obviously not awesome with famous people's names. So today we've got a sayings day, and it says, I need my handy dandy magnifying glass, of course. Actually, I don't need it to read the words. I need it to read who it's by. Way too small. It says our saying for today to stretch our comfort zone is a quote by Plato that says, "Attention to health is life's greatest hindrance." Do you agree with this or not, this statement? Now, I think it depends whether you've had health challenges in your life or not. I personally have had health challenges in my life, so I would agree that having to worry about or be frustrated over or fret or be concerned about any aspect of your health, be it mental health, physical health, weight, energy level, that will color everything else that's going on in your life. That will impact and have it will influence what you do and what you don't do. It will influence how you feel or how you don't feel. It will influence what you choose and don't choose, because you're concerned about how it will impact you and your level of pain or pleasure, which is true for all human beings. I, for one, will admit that I spent decades, not just a year or two, not just a few weeks, decades commiserating over diet and eating and exercise and fitness and weight. I actually began for me when I was about 15. Prior to that, I just lived my life and I was fine. But when I was 15 and just entering high school, I was introduced to and encouraged socially to compare myself to other people. And I was by no means overweight or heavy then, but I also wasn't model thin. I was athletic and muscular, but I wasn't model thin like a lot of the other girls were. And with the influence of girls, other girls, and social etiquette and magazines and the media and everything else, I let some of that nonsense come into my life and my belief and thoughts and feelings about myself. And I let that color how I thought I needed to behave, what I thought I needed to look like to be accepted by everybody else on the planet, which, let's be honest, we're never accepted by everybody else on the planet, so we just have to be ourselves. But back then, when you're 15, you don't know better. And that began my experiences with like yo-yo dieting. I never even heard of the word diet until I was 15 or 16 years old. And then, you go to college and you put on the freshman 15, which is totally socially and emotionally devastating. Then you get, and you worry and you fret and commiserate and try and do all kinds of crazy things with respect to that. So that began my whole this yo-yo dieting and worrying about my exercise, yes, but also eating and what I consumed. And back when I was going to college, they did not have good healthy choices. They did not have salad bars. They had the cheapest, most calorie laden, carbohydrate laden, bad for people that were my age then, food imaginable. And that was all of the offerings. There weren't fruits and vegetables offered or salads. It was all, carbohydrates and fat processed stuff, which tasted delicious and we got addicted to, but it didn't serve me very well in my life. And that led to some health challenges that I had, and up to and including, but my health, for me personally, has indeed, and I haven't let it be a hindrance, but most people do, and I would say I could have let it be a hindrance. I could have, in many times in my life, just shut down and said, I don't feel good. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to participate. I'm done. I'm just going to stop trying to make my life work because I'm overweight, or because I don't think I'm pretty enough or good enough, or because I think that I need to diet, or whatever it is for you. Our health, because it's a primary need, our physical well-being is paramount to our existence. It will color everything else in our lives. So have you found that to be true in your life? Yes or no? Some people seem to just naturally, and we all have the ability to naturally focus on well-being. Well-being is our natural state, although there are so many messages, millions and billions of messages telling us that well-being is not our natural state, that there's lack and scarcity, and that we have to be in pain, and we need all these products and services to get us out of pain, and to help us lose weight, or help us diet, or help us look better, or help us have better hygiene. And it's all created by people trying to sell us something, right? Almost everything and every message that's given to us that isn't encouraging well-being or helping us know that we have this innate sense of well-being is because it's designed to help us get better in some way that we really don't need to get better in. We are always perfect just as we are. And as long as we focus on our own human being perfection, and we know that well-being is our natural state, we will gravitate toward that. It's when all the other messages block us and inundate us with beliefs that make us think we're not good enough, or that we need to change something about ourselves, that we get into trouble, and we end up focusing on things that don't matter. We get away from the things that really matter, and we focus on things that don't matter. All of the years and all the time and energy I spent thinking about diets and exercise and fretting about it, it did nothing to encourage my well-being. If anything, it did just the opposite. So think about what you're thinking about today. Are you thinking about how you're perfectly healthy and everything works out for you? Or are you fretting about a little twinge you've got in your back, or you happen to have a little bit of a headache starting, or you think you've got the sniffles and your throat's clogging and you're getting a cold? Those things can totally throw off our entire day, our entire existence. So don't let them bug you today. Today it says, attention to health is life's greatest hindrance. And I'll just share quickly, my secret for not letting my health and my physical well-being be a major factor in my life and decisions and prevent me from doing anything these days is to create habits and routines that automatically move me toward well-being. So I make better food choices. I don't ever diet. I haven't dieted for, probably more than a decade, because diets don't work. You can't diet. My God, the word die is in diet. Our subconscious will not let us die, and it's not going to let us diet, because, and it sets us up for failure over and over again when we say we're going on a diet, because we never want to die, right? Our subconscious, and it's all about us being alive and living. So diets never work. Lifestyle changes, creating a lifestyle that works for you and supports you and your well-being and your health is the way to success and happiness and health, so that you never have to worry and fret about your health. So I set up lifestyle habits that work for me. I get up at the same time every day. I have a morning routine. I eat and drink things that are good for me. Now, they might be good for me, but not good for you. You are the only one that can figure out what's good for you and make those choices. I exercise every day. Exercising for me, some other people might consider that what I call exercise isn't even exercise, but it's what exercise is right for me. Almost everyone on the planet can move some part of their body or walk or breathe in ways that empower them. And again, it's going to be individual dependent. What is the right exercise for you? My cousin, who is 65 years old, 68 years old, runs marathons. I look at her in awe and I think, I'm not running unless a bear is chasing me, even to the mailbox. So that's because my situation is very different than hers. My health, my state of well-being is different than hers. So running marathons is awesome and works for her. It would never work for me. So you have to figure out what works for you and not let attention and worry and fret and concern over your health and your physical well-being be a hindrance or an excuse for not stretching your comfort zone, not going for what you want, and not being the person that you're here and meant to be, and helping other people, because us being who we are is the best example that we can set for the rest of the world. That's it. Go out, make it a fantastic day. Don't fret about your health. And if you are fretting about your health, what is one thing that you can do today to create a habit or a ritual or something for you that encourages your well-being and your health, so you don't have to think about it and worry about and use it as an excuse anymore? All right. Jamma Grandma out. I will be with you tomorrow.